Hey everyone, Chaostopia here, and today, today's video, I'm basically pretty much, this was pretty much, was a bit of an unexpected thing, if you understand what I'm saying, but anyways, I'm going ahead and, I was planning to go ahead and just make one video today, but I'm going ahead and making two, because the second one's going to be about AFL, which, even though I've clearly stated I was not planning to make any AFL videos anymore, this is actually a very vital update, one that I personally think is really interesting. Anyways, that's not my main point of my video today. And I'm gonna basically tell you guys why. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get into this video. So, the real reason that I'm making today's video is that we're gonna be talking a little bit about two NFL QBs that are under fire, like legit under fire. And the reason I'm going ahead and saying this is because just the fact that, well, these are both quarterbacks that are former first round picks, and actually they're facing a lot of heavy fire. So with that going ahead basically now being said, let's go ahead and let's really talk about what's going on. And that is the two quarterbacks that we're gonna be talking about really about this video. Is pretty much Carson Wentz and Tua Tagovailoa. And both of these quarterbacks, like I said, they're both former first-round picks, so... so the fact that they're going ahead and they're getting a mention here today, oh, it comes to someone's surprise. But, anyways, we're gonna talk about these two and what's going on. So, first of all, if there's one thing I also gotta go ahead and say here, this is pretty much the sources I'm getting here is basically from two websites, Fansided and Sportscasting. So let's go ahead and let's get into these. So the first person we're going to talk about is Tua Tagovailoa, who basically, like I said, he's pretty much, we already know what he has done in so far in his career, and that is, well, he was pretty much the 5th overall pick to the Miami Dolphins, and he's done okay in Miami. It's just, the problem is that, literally, General Manager Chris Kidd just literally doesn't even know what the hell he's doing at this point. I mean, he literally got rid of Brian Flores. A head coach that literally has had a winning record in the past 2 seasons, but yet they're gonna fire him. That confused me, and it's a confusing firing for me. But there was also pretty much some takes that literally Brian Flores was also frustrated to Tagovailoa for his work ethic. And here, according to Fansided, this is actually pretty much coming from a Dolphins defensive player about pretty much playing with Tua Tagovailoa, and this is pretty much on the shot though. So the former first round pick, like I said, he's not favored to be a quarterback at this point. And the reason why I'm making this is for this defense is for this guy basically go ahead and makes his whole thing. So I'm gonna read it from the article here from Fanside. Even Tagovailoa's own teammates, including one prominent defender, has felt as though they can only score so far with the Alabama product as their starting quarterback. He can't make every throw, a Dolphins player told Omar Kelly. He's going to take us so far. I'm wasting my career here if that's what we're doing. But yeah, that was pretty much one person going ahead and basically what they said. It was also really also talks about literally about Deshaun Watson heading to Miami. But let's face it, Deshaun Watson's not heading to the Dolphins unless basically something else really legit happens. And the reason I'm saying that is literally just, let's face it, just look at what's been going on in Miami. I mean, they basically went 9-8 this past year, and the real person to be at fault for this, I mean, you could argue you could say it was Tua, but there's just pretty much a lot of cause and effect, and right now people are getting annoyed in South Beach. This is pretty much basically making this like, yo, this is your last chance. Get it done right. And keep in mind, this is the finish of Tua's second season. And like you said, he's shown some promise, but he develops longer than most people. So literally, there's our Dolphins players frustrated with Tua, but nothing can be said about when your own general manager is also frustrated with you at this point still. And that's what Coach GM Chris Ballard basically could be doing in Indianapolis in 2022. I mean, first of all, let me say this straight up. I mean, we saw a very interesting season from Carson Wentz. In his first season in Indianapolis, he had arguably a solid season. But there's nothing that was gonna basically effectively like wow you. Good, like he had okay statistics. That I said okay. The reason why I'm basically going ahead and I'm not mentioning anything else is simple. Just things aren't really going well. And with that being said, let's go ahead and go into our next thing. So, reason and this one here is pretty much the Colts, pretty much their frustration with Carson Wentz after the Week 18 meltdown versus Jacksonville. Which, if you did see that game, Oh my goodness. I think it's. I'll just say it straight up. Whenever Indianapolis does come to Jacksonville, the Jaguars make the Colts literally their seed. Like I said, Wentz had an okay season, and people are just frustrated about how he went and he ended off the season. So, and and the part about this was that they wanted him to figure it out. I mean, Carson Wentz had pretty much a strong relationship to Colts head coach Frank Reich, which is stuff that's like I said, it's understandable. But now Chris Ballard, he's frustrated with it. And after the ugly week team lost to Jacksonville, this is basically, according to sportscasting.com, Ballard refused to commit to Wentz for the 2022 season just only 2 weeks later. Ballard is solidifying his stance this time, going as far as he can say that he needs to evaluate his options at QB altogether. I don't care what you have at the position at the time. I think every year you got to evaluate both free agents and the draft. I mean, it's that important, Ballard said on the Colts audio network. And it's it's one that we will exhaust each and every year, and we will do within our scouts and with our coaches. Obviously, Bauer's line with the statement, teams don't evaluate positions that they feel comfortable at. For example, the Colts aren't going to go ahead and they're not evaluating the running back room following Jonathan Taylor's record-setting season. Kansas City, they're not evaluating the QB position either if they have Patrick Mahomes under contract for a decade. But what Ballard is saying here is that if you're looking to move off Wentz, it's possible. It's a case of death play region with 100% of the blame from this past season's failure. Ultimately, blaming Wentz for everything that went wrong Doctor would be an incredibly foolish decision by Ballard. The defense struggled, the wide receivers weren't getting open, and the comes down looked outclassed by a team without a head coach. It was a collective failure by everyone involved, including Ballard. Instead of acquiring Wentz, out Ballard did little to improve his roster this past off season. However, Ballard is hell bent on blaming Wentz for anything and everything. One shouldn't rule out the possibility of trade. Attempting to the perform a SWAT deal with the Las Vegas Raiders for Derek Carr would make sense on paper. And literally here, this, like I said, you're literally playing pretty much 100% the blame on Carson Wentz when, like I said, football is a team game. We all know this. I've known this from my time as a flag football player. I've known this for being a former, pretty much, Pro Bowl corner in flag football era. I played so much real football. You all know you can't blame someone for their mistakes. And that, of course, really pretty much goes ahead and really sets the tone. And with that being said, we're seeing basically really the Colts trying to put all their blames, all the struggles and everything else on Carson Wentz when in reality, like I said, football is a team game. Can't blame everything on Carson Wentz. That's not how a team's supposed to roll. Like, let's just say if I went ahead and basically if I was a general manager and in OFL, for instance, and let's just say I had it basically, let's just say Lily at QB. if Lily basically, in a game that literally, if the team struggled, with Lily basically performing average in the game, should I get angry at Lily completely and literally blame pretty much Lily for the whole thing? No, I shouldn't. It's not in my jurisdiction. This is a team sport. You can't just blame one person for your mistakes. You can't blame, oh, the quarterbacks is why we went ahead and we missed the playoffs. It's not supposed. It's not supposed to be that way. And if you think that it is supposed to be that way, then obviously something. Then obviously you're basically not showing a full commitment to your player. If you're not showing a full commitment to your player, what do you expect fans want you to go ahead and react to? I think I think Colts fans wouldn't blame the general manager, but then again, it's not literally in pretty much Chris Paul's jurisdiction to just put the entire blame on one dude, when in reality, the entire team was struggling against a team that didn't have a head coach. I mean, think about it. Jonathan Taylor, who was having himself his best season, he legit went ahead and he pretty much was contained. Michael Pittman was struggling that game. A lot of players would just literally couldn't find the groove. Instead of basically saying, oh, this is basically, everyone basically was struggling today. Even the defense struggled. And that pretty much goes ahead and it pushes really something. Anyways, I'm not gonna go ahead and really go into more topic about this. Let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. Do you think that Carson Wentz basically does deserve pretty much the whole thing, or literally he basically isn't fully to blame for the Colts' struggles? And anyways, besides that, this is Chaostopia. I'm gonna head out. Peace.